podcast. We don't know what we're doing yet, but I'm Adan, and on today's show we have the King of Wakanda, aka Kemdi,
Wow.
and Ricardo B,
What up?
coming back from his latest tour in wherever the hell you're recording. And today we're going to be talking about something, and hopefully we don't mess up. What do you think, Rafael? Raf?
Get on track, guys.
I don't know.
Okay. We're going to be talking about martial arts. Hopefully. Okay, that's it. That's it.
Okay,
Thank you.
so why is Adan? Tell us about martial arts.
Well, today, specifically, I'm going to talk about Jiu Jitsu. Brazilian Jiu Jitsu.
Is that the real jiu-jitsu?
Yes. It's the real Jiu Jitsu. Except it's not. Because, like, Westerners be doing their own stuff, you know? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Silly old Westerners, you know?
Yeah.
Do you agree?
I mega agree.
Yep. So, much like other martial arts, Jiu-Jitsu kind of like based off some older martial art, and in this case it was Judo, which Judo's from Japan, and the Judo that Jiu-Jitsu was inspired by was Kodokan Judo, but through adaptation and bringing it to like the States and stuff like that, it kind of became what is now today as jiu-jitsu. Depending on who teaches it and all that kind of stuff, you can have a lot of takedowns, a lot of footlocks, but mostly it focuses on the ground. And all styles of grappling are pretty similar, but in the case of jiu-jitsu, it doesn't only focus on taking you down like wrestling or judo. It actually focuses on like escapes, defenses, and submissions and stuff like that. So it's more, at least in my opinion, I think there's more to it.
All right.
Yeah. And let's start with the first philosophy of jiu-jitsu. And basically, it's that a smaller and weaker opponent can defeat an otherwise bigger and stronger opponent by just using technique, leverage, and footlocks and all that kind of stuff. So it kind of like it just focuses on technique a lot.
Just a quick question.
Yeah.
Is jiu-jitsu like your favorite form of martial arts?
I mean, at the moment, yeah. I like boxing and Muay Thai and all that kind of stuff, but in terms of like how in depth I'm into like martial arts, jiu-jitsu is like my favorite at the moment.
All right.
Yeah. Because it's fun and there's like a whole community behind it, much like boxing and Muay Thai.
Is that what you're the best at?
Huh?
Is that what you're the best at?
I would say so. Like, I'm not very good at it. You know, I'm not the best. Like, I'm not a world champion that chokes out black belts, you know what I mean? But I'm okay. I'm not bad.
Is that you, Adan? Is that coming from Rodrigo's?
That's it, done.
It was so serious, and then
Oh, shoot. Okay, let's keep going. Where were we?
I think I was asking you if it was your favorite, and then you said yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah. he asked you if you were like the most skilled at, or if that was like your most skilled martial art, I guess, or something like that.
Oh yeah, that was it.
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm the most skilled. Like, I would say it's the one I'm most focused on because I enjoyed the most.
Okay.
Yeah, because like I do competitions and stuff like that, and that's another thing too that I wanted to bring up in terms of like martial arts and stuff like that. You could kind of have like I'm not trying to like diss anybody, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
But you can like,
Mhm.
but when it comes to like that kind of stuff, it all depends on your goal. You know what I mean? Because there's people that just come in just to like kind of like have a hobby or something,
Mhm.
but there's the people that like want to compete, maybe you want to fight someday, and like you can definitely tell the difference when in terms of those people. So it's like that's the cool thing about martial arts. Anybody can do it, and depending on your goal, you can kind of like adapt it and do your own kind of thing.
Is
But
that
in terms of yeah, what's up?
no, 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 keep on going.
Yeah, but in terms of what I'm doing, since like I like to compete and I teach and stuff like that, I have to be really into it, and I have to like lift weights on the side. I have to find time to do what I'm doing, to be able to do what I'm doing. So like along with that, you gotta like dedication and patience and hard work goes into it and everything like that. Yeah. Hey Kemdi,
Hmm?
do you know any like Wagandan martial art?
Gondon? You mean
Yeah,
Wakandan?
Wagandan.
Yeah. I know
Yeah,
this one
which
pretty
one?
good technique.
Technique.
Yeah, it's called run away from the Europeans. That worked pretty well for us. We just ran away and hid at all the other ones.
Oh my god.
Hello, this following technique is called dodge the smallpox blanket.
Oh, I think Native Americans are pretty bad at that one.
Wow.
Bruh. Are we gonna have to cut that out?
I
Nah.
don't
Uh,
no.
for Raph, let's get back on topic.
Yeah, for rap's sake.
Speaking of Raph, did you know he really likes sea otters for some reason?
Yes, but that's beside the point. We're talking about
Oh
martial
yeah, we're talking
arts.
about martial arts. Okay.
Yeah, gotta get on topic for Raph.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I'm really sorry about that. You know what?
Okay.
Before like really like get into my whole topic, because like we're probably not gonna have enough time. What's your favorite martial arts movie? Like it includes like boxing and stuff like that. It doesn't even have.
Uh,
Yeah.
oh, I was gonna say like the Karate Kid, or maybe like a Bruce Lee film, like Enter the Dragon or something like that.
Yeah.
But then you said boxing, and I thought maybe Rocky.
I mean, those are all pretty
What
iconic
was
films
what
in
was
that
that one
certain
movie with
sense.
Real Steel?
Real
Oh yeah, where
Steel.
Hugh
Oh,
Jackman
Yeah,
he
Hugh
like
Jackman.
controlled the robot and they
Yeah.
boxed and
And then for some reason, like it was like an AI, kind of had consciousness for some reason, and like liked the kid, which is kind of
yeah.
weird. But besides the point. Besides the point.
But you, Rodrigo?
me? I really don't even remember, bro. Like,
What's your
probably the
favorite
only
anime?
one that's like anime.
Yeah,
I don't watch any martial art anime, bro.
I mean
But
that's another cool thing. Like since I'm like a martial arts nerd, I'll be watching anime sometimes.
and you notice techniques used or what?
Yeah, you notice techniques used. It's
One
like
Punch Man?
like I watched Kung Fu Panda once, and I saw this Kadoosh, and I was like, holy crap!
Have you ever like attempted a skadoosh on someone?
Not on somebody,
Not on what?
not on somebody, but I've done it to somebody.
What?
What happened? Did they are they still with us?
They just kind of skadoosh. You see, the whole point of the technique is like the ska part is where you grab the finger, and then the douche is the explosion. So,
Mm.
so it roughly translates to finger explosion.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, another thing I want to ask. There's this thing in Kill Bill. I don't know if you've seen that movie, where there's like this 5-finger heart technique where like you just like hit these like accurate pressure points and then hit the heart really hard, and then like your heart explodes or something. Is that based on anything, or is that just made up?
How am I supposed to know that?
You do martial arts.
I know the spleen exploding technique, but not the heart exploding.
But is it like an actual thing?
Yeah, you just kind of like punch him in the spleen and hope it explodes.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you have to hit it
Interesting.
hard.
Speaking of like really weird techniques, there's like, have you ever seen those videos on YouTube where it's like kind of like fake martial arts? I don't want to say fake because that's mean,
Hmm.
you know. But like, it's like they use gravity or something like that, or like the force,
I think
like
most people use gravity.
and like, if we can't put this in post later, you can insert a video maybe. But it's like they kind of like sway their arms and make people fly,
Sweet.
and it's like
Okay, so that's the opposite of gravity then.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's like I'm gonna use the force against this attacker,
that's like
and then like
what? That's very fake,
yeah,
bro.
look it up right now. Look it up right now, like force martial arts or something like that. You know, yeah, do that.
Force martial arts.
Or look up like fake martial arts. Like trust, funny.
I'll look up some. Hold on, let me go to YouTube.
Okay, while you guys are doing that, um, I'll say some more stuff. Um, going back to like Bruce Lee and stuff like that, they kind of helped popularize martial arts. You know, so in terms of like jiu-jitsu, I would say probably the Gracies, back like Gracie Barra and Gracie Jiu-Jitsu.
What was that?
What was what?
What was what?
All right, I'm watching martial arts videos. Keep going
Yeah,
on
same.
with Bruce Lee and all that stuff.
So it's like one of the more like I want to say franchised. At least like you'll see them around. Like I think there's even one like off near Costco. So it's like there's a lot of them. But basically, what I'm saying, I think they help popularize it. It's because like old school UFC. Have you guys ever seen old school UFC?
Yeah.
That stuff's wild. Like you got guys coming
It's
out
like
in
the.
like
Oh my bad, go.
it's like you got guys coming out in their like what we call like the uniforms like gi or kimono.
Hmm.
You got guys coming out in that. You got like sumo wrestlers. Like that's also like partly why MMA was so like frowned upon because of stuff like that. Like it does kind of make sense why people used to call it barbaric in that kind of sense because like when it first started out there was like no rules, so like it was crazy. But like they popularized it because you'd see I think it was Renzo. Oh yeah, I think it was Renzo Gracie. Where like you'd see him like just knee bar and choke like these like 200-pound guys, and like they just help popularize the martial arts in general, especially in that time jiu-jitsu. You guys got like any favorite fighters?
Fighters? No, not
Yeah.
really.
Like boxers, like kickboxers, wrestlers.
Mm,
You watch some WWE, Kemdi?
I was still watching the martial arts videos. I mean, not that WWE is fake, right? Like most of it is, at least.
What?
That's what you always hear. Like wrestling's fake. But when I heard that as a kid,
WWE is fake.
I don't know, man. Stone
It's like
Cold Steve
liver act.
Austin. He's kind of cool.
Yeah.
like when I
Rob-
heard like, I don't think like all of it is fake because people like have actually. Well, there have been accidents where people have died, and Steve Austin, well, he can't even like.
Well, like
I mean,
actual wrestling, like in
Well, I think
Mexico
it's
and stuff,
because,
is
like-
kind of like crazy in terms of
Never
injuries
talked
and
about that. How
stuff.
The Rock kind of like ruined Steve Austin's wrestling career.
well, like in terms of that, like it's fake, you know. But like people get hurt because of the fact that it's like tricking. You know what that is?
Tricking.
Like from my knowledge,
Audience?
tricking is like what you see in like martial arts movies.
But
Yeah,
tricks are for kids.
Oh,
Exactly.
you mean kind of like um
it's like the kicks and like
choreography?
yeah, the choreography, like fight choreography.
Yeah.
It's like that. At least that's what I think. It's like that.
Hmm. Yeah,
Ooh,
I assume so.
Yeah,
A
but there's
routine.
like that brings up another thing for me, at least that makes me upset when it comes to MMA and stuff like that. Like I have like
Selling out.
my favorite fighters are like the ones that like kind of uphold the kind of disciplines when it comes to martial arts.
What do you mean?
You know what I mean? Like just like well, not even martial arts, just in like sports in general, like sportsmanship, just discipline.
Okay.
and just respect, you know. But
Yeah.
like, it just kind of turns into like a bunch of like crap talking and all that
Is
kind of
that why
stuff.
you hate like what's that
Like
one?
Conor
The
McGregor,
Irish dude? Yeah, there we go.
yeah, Conor McGregor. I mean, they're not bad fighters, you know, but like I just
But
kind of
you
don't
just
like.
hate their steez.
Yeah, like the fact that they're around. I don't want to see the fact that they're around, but like they can bring money, and that's why like
I
they're
hate
so.
that they like trash talk. I wouldn't even mind if they trash talk so much if like the fighters were able to put up a good fight, like that McGregor fight. Like I was actually looking forward to that
Oh,
mainly because somebody had like
you
shown me a
know
video
what
of
I'm
it for
saying.
weeks,
He's like
and I thought,
no,
okay, he didn't win
no.
against Mayweather because Mayweather's like better and like good.
Well,
But like I don't know,
they're
maybe he
just
can win against
disciplined
this
in
guy,
different
or even if he
areas.
doesn't win, maybe it'll be a good fight. And that fight was pathetic.
That was the biggest meme in like the martial arts community for the longest time. I'm not even gonna lie. Like I follow a bunch of like martial arts meme pages. It was the biggest meme for a while, cause like how could you like as just an MMA fighter, how could you expect to go into a boxing ring and beat up a professional boxer? Like that makes no sense. Like like don't get me wrong. Like if Mayweather went get obliterated,
Well, yeah,
cause like
obviously, because it's just
yeah, but like
not their place.
I know it's like, but still, it's like it's just like back to like the trash talking, you know, like, it's all money
It's just
basically,
selling out, dude.
basically.
It's like in
It's
skateboarding,
like
core people versus non-core people, corporations versus
exactly,
core.
exactly.
Bless
What
you.
the, what's that?
He's very angry about it, bro.
He's an angry sneeze.
I always sneeze.
Okay, let's see what else.
What else did you have for us today?
Mon fear. So I was gonna tell you guys a couple funny stories from my competition life, you know.
Oh shoot.
Also some stories.
So I
Adan
remember
beating up and
as a really chubby kid, right?
okay.
When I first started,
Mhm.
I went against like since I was really chubby, so like there's weight brackets and stuff like that. You know, it's really organized.
Mhm.
So I was going against like 17-year-olds because I was really fat.
Hmm?
So they had to bump me up in age. But like my fondest memory is that this one time I got obliterated. Okay, I got destroyed my first like couple ones because I was like not in shape.
Mhm.
And I swear this kid destroyed me. He came off right. And like in the southern, I think I've told you guys this. In the southern accent, he goes, "Ah, I think it was the chicken," and he starts throwing up in a trash can.
Oh my god. Oh my god, dude. I don't think you've ever told us that.
I don't think you've ever said this.
In between him throwing up, he goes, "Pa!" He goes, "Pa!" It was the chicken. But I have never been so impressed in my whole life because this kid, he had like another 10 matches, right?
After he threw up?
He would throw up. And I was just looking at him like, I was like, you go, dude. You're throwing up, but you won. I'm cool with that. And I was like,
You want some dude that just threw up to fight you or something?
yeah, at least he didn't throw up on me. That was my thought.
Yeah.
I was
I
like,
think it would have
whatever.
been funnier if he threw up on you.
That's another technique I learned a couple years ago. Just throw up on the enemy.
What do you call that?
The eject and skeet.
I think that's the wrong one, bro.
I also think that is incorrect.
Oh
Yeah.
dang. Well, I mean, what would you guys know? I'm the one over here that knows.
Shoot, you're right, you're right.
I am right.
Okay, okay.
You guys know how this is like the wildest thing. The parents get really mad
Parents?
at little league games.
Oh my.
You guys know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so imagine at like the biggest tournaments, right? There's kids competing, and you have like these like really like just like big Brazilian coaches getting mad because the kids are losing. So like it's the funny like it's wild because I don't understand Portuguese, you know?
Yeah.
But like
Do
as
you
soon
get
as you
it?
go to a competition and you see that there's like 50 Brazilian guys on your bracket,
Hmm.
you know, hence the name Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You kind of look at it and you go, "I'm gonna lose." It's like that's basically. It's like it's
Pause
because
was
like
necessary.
it's like I shall die with honor. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Knowing that you went up against an opponent you were not
Yeah.
like, yeah,
Yeah, fear the Brazilians when it comes to jiu-jitsu. That's basically
they're just meta.
yeah. Oh, and that's another cool thing.
What?
Um, when it comes to like my coaches and everything, I have one really cool Brazilian coach. You know his name's nah, I'm not gonna name drop right now. I'm not gonna.
Okay. Why
Of
not?
course, of course. There might be that one chance that he might listen to this podcast.
Yeah.
He's like,
And we blow up, and next thing you know, you're giving him free advertisement.
ooh, I'm gonna name drop my gym.
I mean, go for it.
UFC gym. I'm joking. I don't go to UFC. UFC, I ain't about that life.
UFC Gym, Outback Steakhouse.
UFC gym. Can we name this? Can we rename this UFC podcast?
Names?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Rename the podcast UFC podcast so it gets taken down.
No.
So nobody has to listen to this crap.
I don't. Wow.
It'd be like that.
They really don't.
You really do.
No, it do not.
Yes. Yes.
No.
Okay, since we got a little off topic, you know, I'm gonna try to bring it back to competition, you know? And like I compete not only in jiu-jitsu but I also compete in karate. I do it every once in a while. But what I'm trying to say BJJ or Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is actually pretty big in Cali. Like it's pretty big. Like most of the really really like big like high stake tournaments are here in California, and it's really like cool because like I get to meet like a lot of like the famous kind of grapplers, you know, and
Hmm.
like that sounds kind of weird, you know. Speaking like since you guys aren't in like this kind of community kind of thing,
What do you
but
mean?
like there's guys that literally make their whole livings just off sponsorships
Well, yeah,
and grappling.
that makes sense.
Yeah, like there's even like subscriptions you can buy to watch your TV for these competitions. Like it's wild.
Are
It's
you
like
striving to do that yourself, or is
I
that
would
something
love to
that
do
you
like
wouldn't want to do or get into or dabble
nah,
in?
I would love that because I love
Yeah,
doing
what
stuff.
if you got sponsored by somebody
But, like-
cool like Jake Paul or something?
I don't know about that one, boss.
Okay, you know, speaking of like living your life doing martial arts,
Mm.
I would do it, but like the really high level people on my age literally
Your age?
spend their whole time training.
Mm.
Like they're homeschooled, and all they do is spend time at the gym and training.
They're
And they're
dedicated
like
to that.
they're like not even dedicated. Like that's basically their life. Like I would say I think I've heard this about AOJ. It's this really famous really famous jiu-jitsu gym
Mhm.
run by the Mendez Bros. It's really big names in jiu-jitsu,
Okay.
and I think there's kids that literally live there, basically
Live there?
live there,
Just training or what?
just training, doing their own thing, and that's like another thing. When it comes to competitions, you have guys that literally travel from like Brazil, Europe, just to like come to competitions, and here in like Cali too. Like the big ones are here in Cali, so
Uh-huh.
like you'll see. That's why when I said when you look at a bracket and you see like 50 Brazilian guys in your bracket, is because they're being paid by whatever gym or whatever affiliate they're going for to just come and compete. So like that's how they make their money. So like that's why they're always spending so much time. UFC fighter almost, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
So yeah, I would love to do that, but like school, you know, trying
Yeah.
not to like trying to like live my life, you know. And
End
I've
up
already
in
got like
something stable or something.
yeah, exactly. But the thing is though, like once you get into that, you basically have your career set out for you because you can teach seminars, you can be teaching at a gym since you're so well known.
It's
You know what
just
I mean?
taking that initial first like risk. essentially.
Yeah. Well, not even that. Like a lot of those guys are born into it almost.
Okay, so that's all they know.
Like Gracie Barra or the Mendes Bros. You know, like their families are based within there. So like if they want to pursue it, they have all the means to do it.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it definitely costs money too, because you have to pay for competitions unless you're sponsored or something like that. You can make money from it. You know?
Well, I'll sponsor you with all of my motive or just cheering you on or something, bro.
Thanks,
Got
brother.
you. Unlike Kemdi.
Oh, that's one of my coaches are here from. He's from Brazil,
Hmm.
and basically he's just here competing, sponsored, and all that kind of stuff. He even got his papers for that too.
Like
It's
a
really
like a
cool.
visa or something.
Yeah, he got his visa just through Jiu Jitsu, basically.
Yeah.
It's really cool. Super nice dude. But the next thing I want to move into is the ranking for Jiu Jitsu, which is another reason why I really like it.
Ranking,
You know,
like
ranking.
progression or something.
Yeah, progression. Like unlike karate and stuff like that, it takes longer to get your belts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Kemdi. You take you.
Wow.
Oh no.
Oh, you took Taekwondo, right?
I took Taekwondo and then I took kickboxing.
Kickboxing. How long did it take you to rank up in Taekwondo?
I take uh, I don't- like we had like the first like three ranks. I think it was white, yellow, and orange. We had like stripes, and I think that those took me like each a month. So to get from each belt, I think like it took about 3 months, and afterwards it took like 2 months, maybe
Yeah.
2 to 3, maybe.
So see, that's what I'm about to say. So at least from my experience, or like maybe many people's experience, Jiu-Jitsu is a lot more rigorous when it comes to ranking. Because let's just get started on the fact that for kids, there's a whole different belt system just for kids. So, like, I'd say there's probably maybe 30 more maybe 20 more belts if you're under the age of 15, just to rank up. There's like 20 more plus belts
Dang.
just to rank up in jiu-jitsu. And that's what I kind of like about it because there's kind of like a quality control, I'm gonna say, when it comes to jiu-jitsu. Because
Quality
like
control, like.
once you like gain a rank, there's like an actual like visual and just like you can feel and know when like I'm a blue belt, right?
Hmm.
It took me almost 8 years just to get my blue belt. And in terms of like adult ranking, that's like the first belt you can get.
So, would you say it's more like geared towards age then? Like, I'm not saying that like skill isn't a thing, or.
Oh no, it definitely is, but like when I'm like for your blue belt, okay, first let me tell you the ranks.
Hmm.
So you know how I was saying there's 20 plus belts for kids?
Yeah.
It depends, you know? And I can't really name all of them. Maybe I can name a few. So like for the kids of what I know of, it's white, gray, orange, green.
Well, you're saying them like it doesn't sound like you're sure. You sound like you're asking us the question.
No. It's because there's a lot of in between belts,
Oh,
and it also depends
so it's
on your
kind of
age.
like you have to go through those belts and then get to
So
the
let's
next
say,
color.
okay, so the for the blue belt, right?
Hmm.
You have to be 16 in order to get your blue belt. There's no way around it. You have to be 16.
Hmm.
So for a green or orange belt, that's in the case that you're not 16 for your blue belt. And the reason for this, at least in my like what I think it is
Hmm.
because there's a lot of techniques that you can seriously hurt somebody. You know what I mean? You have your foot locks, you have your knee bars, you have your toe holds, and all that kind of stuff. And if you're not mature enough to handle that kind of stuff, you can break someone's foot.
Oh,
Or
okay.
say somebody like I was saying in terms of goals, right? There's people that
Goals.
just come in as a hobby, and they're like,
Oh,
there are
okay, yeah.
people that work, right?
Hmm.
And let's say you're a white belt, right? And you're like, no, let's say you're like a brown belt, right? And you're really young, and you do a knee bar with somebody, you literally ruin their whole life, basically, if you don't know what you're doing, because you'll break their knee or tear their ACL or PCL or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
So it doesn't only go into quality control; it goes into the maturity, which is why a 16-year-old you have to be 16-year-old to get your blue belt. And that's when you start doing leg locks. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So okay, I got off topic. So back to the ranking. For
But I have a question for that. Like, say you're like in a certain age group, right?
yeah,
Are there like certain techniques that aren't taught to you yet, or like,
yeah.
oh, okay,
So since I teach, I know this. There's also a lot of rules in terms of competition. But as a kid, you can't do headlocks
okay,
or let's see, any sort of neck crank. Yeah, just headlocks and neck cranks are like a no. And we also make the kids. So you know what an armbar is, right?
yeah,
So for adults, we trust you enough to know when to tap. And in jiu-jitsu, tap is like when you say like I give up, this hurts, stop. You know what I mean?
yeah,
For the kids, we don't trust them with that. As soon as we even see an extension of the arm, we stop them
oh, okay,
because we don't want them breaking their arms or like them never coming back. You know, because it's a business. You know what I
yeah,
mean? So yeah, for kids, we just make sure they're not doing anything headlock related and stuff like that, or leg locks. Is that
alright,
it? Yeah. So
yeah,
for the adult rating, it's white, blue, purple, brown, and then black. And then you have your red belt. And
alright,
like, and all this, I would say just for the adult, I'd say it'd take you about maybe 15 years to get your black belt. Just to get your black belt. And even after your black belt, you can still rank up to get a red belt. But like, if you look up like red belts, you know, they're all like really old. They're like 60 or something.
jeez,
So it's like, it's wild. You have to like, there's a lot of work that goes into it.
yeah,
And as for the kids, you know, I was saying, so like for the peewees, you know, we give them like little white belts and we give them like black stripes in them. And I forgot to mention this. For each belt, you need 4 bars.
4 bars to get into the next one, or what?
Yeah, to get into the next one.
Alright,
And those bars take about maybe 6 months, depending on how much you train
mm-hmm.
or how well you're doing. And yeah, and what I'm trying to say is, unlike karate, you know, you rank up really quickly in karate, and like you don't really need to know anything, you know, which is why you see like little kids with like red belts and stuff like that, because like you're basically like, it's like, hey, you want to do some karate? You know, it's cool, you know.
It's pretty cool, Adan.
Yeah, but you know, I'll be talking about karate the next podcast. You know,
Alright,
I'm talking trash on it right now, but it's not that bad. It's actually kind of cool depending how you do it. Okay, guys, thanks for listening to this podcast. You know, we didn't have rap, so it was kind of all over the place. But
He was here in spirit.
rap,
Back was here in spirit.
and I hope that we get a name for the project. I
Yeah, I
want
know.
whoa,
Bye.
wait, we're not just doing this for, the grade.
Yeah, I know, but I really want to graduate.
Oh, yeah, graduating is key right now.
It's-
Adios, amigos.